Good morning, dear cadets. So here I am going to generally means there is a one overview of some chapters. The first chapter is amines, and afterwards I will give you some brief idea about the biomolecules, and at the end will give you the brief idea about the solid state. Here the brief idea of amines chapter, that is the next unit after the aldehydes and ketones. Okay, so just see now in amines chapter what is there. Aliphatic amines as well as aromatic amines both are included. Aliphatic amines means 1 degree, 2 degree and 3 degree amines. So just see, I will tell you how to write the 1 degree and 2 degree, 3 degree amines. So this is ammonia NH3, replace 1 H by R. Okay, so this is RNH2. This is 1 degree amines. What is this one? 1 degree amines, RNH2. Just like 1 degree, 2 degree and 3 degree alcohol. Further do one thing, replace 1 H plus 1 more R. So here what is there? R, NH and here R. This is 2 degree amines. What is this one? 2 degree amines. Okay, because with the N2R group is attached. Okay, are bonded. Okay, similarly one replaceable H is still there. So just see, minus H plus R. So what is this one? R, N, and here what is there? This side also R, this side also R, and lone pair of electron. This is 3 degree amines. What is this one? 3 degree amines. So what is there? 1 degree amines, that is RNH2. 2 degree amines means RRNH. 3 degree amines means RRN. We can write like that also, R3N. Okay, this can be written R2NH. Okay, can be written or not? Or simply R2. Don't write bracket. R2NH. R2NH. What about this one? This is RNH. This is all about the 1 degree, 2 degree and 3 degree amines. As far as aromatic amines is concerned, one member is given, that is aniline. This is NH2. What is this one? Aniline. Okay, no problem at all. This is aniline, aromatic amines. With the nitrogen, lone pair of electron is there. Here, in this case also, means aliphatic amines case also, nitrogen is having lone pair of electron. Okay, means they are the basic in nature. So far what you have studied, carboxylic acid you have studied, alcohol you have studied. Everyone is acidic. Okay, some are strong, some are weak acid. Amines is the chapter where we will study the basic property of these amines. Okay, now as far as methods of preparation is concerned, if what is the name of this one? Nitrobenzene. If with the benzene ring NO2 group is there and you are now reducing it, so NO2 group will be reduced to NH2. Always remember, reducing agent may be H2PD or NaC2H5OH. Better to this one, H2PD. Remember, NO2 group always reduced into NH2 group. Okay, so this is the method of preparation of aromatic amines, that is aniline. Okay, so this is one idea. Next idea is order of boiling point. I told you general view, overview. Okay, brief idea. Okay, so will not go very detailed. Order of boiling point. So far I have taught you the order of boiling point of so many compounds. Okay, here basically how many types of amines are there? 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree amines. Okay, so remember 3 degree amines, hydrogen is not there here. Okay, so intermolecular hydrogen bonding is not possible. While in case of 2 degree amines and 1 degree amines, intermolecular hydrogen bonding is possible. So this is the only reason, that is why 2 degree amines and 1 degree amines, they have got more boiling point than that of ether. But 3 degree amines, due to lack of, here right, 3 degree amines due to lack of hydrogen atom. Due to lack of hydrogen atom, what is there? Hydrogen bonding is not possible here. So their boiling point is, means 3 degree amines boiling point is less than that of ether. Okay. A correct order is this one. The highest one is carboxylic acid, next one is alcohol, then 1 degree amines, 2 degree amines, ether and amines. Last one is 3 degree amines. So remember, 3 degree amines have got lower boiling point than that of ether due to lack of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So remember this order. Now in this way you will not get. You will get the example of 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree amines, one particular member of alcohol and carboxylic acid, and they will tell you arrange according to increasing or decreasing order of their boiling point. So you should remember this order. Okay. Now there is one more question that is related with the basic nature. Okay. So as per the basic nature will teach you in aqueous medium, somewhere you can write in aqueous medium most basic amines is, just see here in the bracket, in aqueous medium most basic amine is CH3 whole twice NH, means dimethyl amine is most basic. Remember this one. Now in detail we'll teach, don't worry. Okay. Now some more property. Okay. What is the name of this one? Aniline. Okay. Now in aniline, lone pair of electron is there. Nitrogen is having lone pair of electron, and now because of resonance, these electron will go at ortho and para position. You know the resonating structure. Now if it is subjected for reaction with aqueous bromine, okay, so at 2, 4, 6 position, Br will be bonded, but NH2 group will remain unaffected. Okay. So why tribromo substitute of aniline is for due to electron donating nature of NH2 group. Okay. Means due to resonance, concentration of electron at 2, 4, 6 position will be very high. Okay. Now next one is NaNO2 oblique HCl. Okay. 0 degree Celsius to 0 degree Celsius to 5 degree Celsius. Okay. 0 degree Celsius to 5 degree Celsius. If this compound is subjected for this one, diazotization would be there. Now in the first unit only you have studied. What is this one? Diazotization. Diazotization. Okay. So now NH2 will be converted into N2Cl. NH2 will be converted into N2Cl. So 2, 4, 6 bromine will be unaffected. Okay. Now this group will be converted into N2Cl, benzene diazonium chloride. So 2, 4, 6 tribromobenzene diazonium chloride. If benzene diazonium chloride is treated with H3PO3, actually this is H3PO2. H3PO2. Let me clarify, but I am sure this is H3PO2. Yes, H3PO2. Okay. So now this group will be converted into benzene ring. Remember, now Br will remain unaffected. So please remember this reaction also. This is the most important. Okay. So you will get 2, 4, 6 tribromobenzene. Okay. That is the product. Okay. Now there is one more question, and that is the important thing. Just see. Complete the following reactions. Okay. What is this one? C6H5NH2. What? Aniline only. If it is being treated with CH3COCl, acetyl chloride, so the one H of this one and one Cl will come out. So minus HCl, rest everything will be bonded. C6H5NHCOCH3. C6H5NH COCH3. This will be the product. Only one H and this Cl minus HCl. You may have problem in observing this one. So again I am just see C6H5NH. Now one H of this one and one Cl of this one minus HCl, and this is COCH3 will come out. Okay, no problem. So this would be with NH group, CH3CO group will be bonded. Same thing is here also. What is the name of this compound? Benzene sulfonyl chloride. What is this one? Benzene sulfonyl chloride. C2H5NH2 is there. C2H5NH2. This is aliphatic amines, ethyl amine. Now H of this one and Cl of this one will come out. Rest everything will be same. C2H5NH SO2 C6H5. Just you add this one. Here also minus what is there? HCl. Okay. Now this reaction already I taught. C2H5 in methods of preparation of alcohol. When amines are reacted with HNO2. Just see. Here I am writing C2H5NH2. Okay. Plus HNO2. HNO2 can be written as HO here, N here, O here. So what is this one? C2H5OH plus N2 plus H2O. Just see. HONO means HNO2. This reaction many time I taught. Okay. This is also completed. Now the most important aspect. Just see. What is this one? Aniline. Okay. If it is subjected for nitration, okay, so just see, NH2 group is orthopara-directing. What is this one? Orthopara-directing. So only what should have been formed here? Orthonitroaniline and para-nitroaniline. But if you see clearly here, so you are getting the 47% meta substitute also, meta-nitroaniline. Are you getting my point or not? NH2 group is orthopara-directing group. Okay, so if it is orthopara-directing group and if this is subjected for nitration, HNO3 mixture of concentrate HNO3 and concentrate H2SO4, that is nitrating mixture. Once again listen, the mixture of concentrate HNO3 and concentrate H2SO4 is known as nitrating mixture, and they will furnish the NO2 positive electrophile. Okay. And since NH2 is orthopara-directing, so now NH2 group means NO2 group will be bonded with ortho and para position. But in this reaction, what is happening? Considerable amount of meta substitute, meta isomer is also formed, 47%. So to increase the percentage of para isomer, what we should do? Will tell you that one. First understand why meta isomer is formed. Actually, HNO3 is not only nitrating agent, it is a protonating agent also, protonic acid. So this HNO3 furnish one proton, and this proton here just see, nitrogen is having lone pair of electron or not? Here just see. So this proton is always in the hunt of electron. So now NH2 will take up this proton, and it will be converted into NH3. This NH3 group is meta-directing. NH2 is orthopara-directing, but NH3 is meta-directing. Correct? NH3 is meta-directing. Now because of the formation of this group only, now just see, when aniline is treated with this one, some amount of this one will also be formed, because HNO3 is a protonating agent. So NH2 group will take up one proton and it will be converted into NH3. Now if it is subjected for nitration, then what would be there? If it is subjected for nitration, then what would be there? You will get this one. Are you getting my point or not? This is the only reason, that is why along with the ortho and para isomer, considerable amount of meta isomer is also formed. Why? because of formation and conversion of NH2 into NH3, because HNO3 will furnish one proton. I hope that you understood. Now question arises here, how can we increase the percentage of para isomer? We don't want meta, para we want. Then what should be there? This, just see why it has happened. This has happened, meta isomer has formed because of NH2 group. So if NH2 group is protected, then this group will not form and meta isomer will not be there. Only that will be there. Ortho and para will be there. So ortho is only 2%. Now considerable amount of para isomer will increase. Then what we have to do for the protection of NH2 group? NH2 group should be protected by acetic anhydride. Acetic anhydride. I will write the reaction. Just see here. Okay, so just see the protection of NH2 group. Okay, just see here. Now this should be treated with CH3CO whole twice O, acetic anhydride. What is this one? Acetic anhydride. Acetic anhydride. Okay, now just see how this will react. Just see. It will react like that. Just see. See here. This is aniline, NH and H. Acetic anhydride can be written like that. CH3, C double bond O, C double bond O, CH3. So here H and this one is there. Okay. So minus here. Minus here CH3COH, and here what is the product? Just see this one, here what is there? NH, here what is there? C double bond O, and here CH3. That this group will be attached here with NH, and remaining minus, this is acetic acid will come out. Okay, now this is formed. What is the name of this one? N-acetyl aniline. What is this one? N-acetyl aniline. Okay. Now subject. Now see, NH2 group is protected now. Now this lone pair of electron, instead of going to ring, this will go this side. Okay. You can make resonating structure also. So it would be like that. Just see. This is now NH double bond C, single bond O, 2, 4, 6, negative sign, and CH3. So instead of, what is the meaning of protection? The meaning of protection is channelizing the lone pair electron of nitrogen instead of benzene ring or from benzene towards benzene ring to other side. Okay, once again listen. Meaning of protection is channelizing the lone pair electron of nitrogen towards other side rather than benzene ring. Okay, so now it is not coming to benzene ring, it is going that side. Now subject it for nitration now. Okay, just see. Now NH2 group is protected. Who has protected? Acetic anhydride. Now treat this one with concentrate HNO3 plus concentrate H2SO4. And temperature is 288 Kelvin. So here what is the product now? Just see. The product will be, see, this write down as such NH, here C double bond O, CH3. Now only para isomer will form here. NO2 will introduce at para position. Now treat this one with acid. Okay. Acid. So any acid you take, H positive or oblique OH negative. So here you will get this one, this NH2. This H will be attached here. Okay, and now here minus CH3COOH. Okay, and here NO2. So this is para-nitroaniline. Para-nitroaniline. Now you have increased the percentage of para isomer. Now neither ortho nor meta will form. Only you should protect this NH2 group, then only. So this is all about the concept of protection. Okay, there are some more reaction as far as amines are concerned. Just see here, carbyl amine reaction. This is the name reaction, and this has been given by 1 degree aliphatic and aromatic amine. Remember, 1 degree aromatic amines and 1 degree aliphatic amines will give this reaction. That is why this reaction can be used to distinguish between 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree amines. Only 1 degree will give this reaction. 1 degree aliphatic amines. 2 degree and 3 degree will not give. Okay, actually in this reaction what is happening now? Aliphatic amines are aromatic amines. Aromatic amines means aniline. Aliphatic amines means you take CH3NH2 or CH3CH2NH2. They react with chloroform in presence of alcoholic KOH. Then one foul smelling substance is formed, that is known as ethyl isocyanide, and this is benzene isocyanide or phenyl isocyanide. C6H5 N double bond coordinate bond C, 3KCl and 3H2O. This is foul. Isocyanide compounds are foul smelling compound. Okay, so remember this reaction also. What is the name of this reaction? Carbyl amine reaction. There are some more questions. Silver chloride dissolved in aqueous methyl amine solution. So just see, this is what is the formula of methyl amine? CH3NH2. Here lone pair of electron is there, so this will act as ligand. What is this one? Ligand. Okay, and AgCl. Okay, now silver will act as a central metal atom. So silver chloride is dissolved in aqueous methylene solution because AgCl form coordination compound with methyl amine. Just see, AgNH2CH3 whole twice. This is ligand. Okay, bracket close, positive sign and Cl negative, and this compound is soluble. That is why this one, silver chloride dissolved in aqueous methylene solution. Always remember, aqueous methylene solution due to formation of this compound. You can write this one, dimethyl amino. Now name will change because this is ligand. Dimethyl amino silver first chloride. This is soluble complex. One more question is, tertiary amines do not undergo acylation reaction. Acylation means inserting CH3CO group, and you see just now I finished this one. Why this reaction is possible? Because aniline is having one replaceable hydrogen. Okay, so just see, whenever any compound is reacting with CH3COCl means acetyl chloride or acetic anhydride, then what should be there? Other compound must have one replaceable hydrogen, then only it will react. In tertiary amine, what is there? Just see, RNR, due to lack of H with an atom. Here replaceable hydrogen is not there. Instead of this one, lone pair of electron is there. That is why tertiary amines do not undergo acylation reaction. Okay, in this way the general overview of amines is over. Next one is biomolecules. Okay, so just see the next unit, that is biomolecules. Okay, the last unit. In biomolecules, how many things are included? Basically, carbohydrate is included. Carbohydrate. Okay, under carbohydrate, how many carbohydrates are there? These are the carbohydrate: monosaccharides, oligosaccharide, polysaccharides. Then what is given? Protein is given. Okay, protein, amino acids, protein, these are given. So I will teach first this one carbohydrate, then will give you the idea about nucleic acid, and then will teach something about the protein or amino acids. Okay, don't worry, just see. So first we'll begin with carbohydrate. So carbohydrate, three types are there: monosaccharide, oligosaccharide and polysaccharides. So monosaccharides, these are the example: glucose, fructose and galactose. All three will have this formula C6H6O6. okay, C6H6O6, this is the formula. Remember, molecular formula is same, but all three will have different functional group. Okay, we'll tell you that one also. Oligosaccharide, under oligosaccharide, disaccharide, trisaccharide, tetrasaccharide, pentasaccharide, like that it is there. But basically in your syllabus disaccharides are there. Disaccharides means actually all these disaccharides, they are made up of monosaccharide. So in this disaccharide, two monosaccharides units are present. So disaccharide examples are sucrose, maltose, lactose. Just see, their formula is C12H22O11. okay, just I am teaching in short, just overview. Sucrose, maltose, lactose, C12H22O11. But remember, this is the molecular formula. Okay, it appears to be same, but when you go for the structure, then a lot of difference is there. So in detail we'll teach later on. Okay, next one is polysaccharide. So example of polysaccharide is starch, glycogen, cellulose. This unit will be very handy for the bio cadets, but it will be difficult for the computer CS boys. Okay, don't worry, we'll teach in detail only. So starch, glycogen, cellulose, that can be represented by this general formula C6H10O5 and whole N. Okay, this is there. This is starch, glycogen and cellulose. Okay, so just see here. We'll finish this one, nucleic acid, then we'll tell you more about this one. Nucleic acids, there are two types of nucleic acids: DNA and RNA. What is the meaning of DNA? Deoxyribose nucleic acid, and RA means ribose nucleic acid. It is known as deoxyribose because deoxyribose sugar is found, that is pentose sugar. The meaning of pentose sugar is 5 carbon atom is there, that is why it is known as pentose deoxyribose. Deoxyribose means at carbon number 2 oxygen is not there, that is why total number of carbon atom is 5, but at carbon number 2 oxygen is not there, that is why this is deoxyribose. This ribose is also pentose sugar, but at carbon number 2 oxygen is there, that is why this is ribose sugar. Okay, so in DNA structure, deoxyribose sugar is there, then nitrogen base is there, then phosphatic group PO4 is there. Okay, similarly in RNA, ribose sugar is there, nitrogen base and phosphatic group, these three are included. So in DNA, deoxyribose sugar, nitrogen base, phosphatic groups. Similarly in RNA, ribose sugar, nitrogen base and phosphatic group is there. These three are there. Okay, now try to understand. Ribose are sugar plus nitrogen base, that is known as nucleoside. What is that one? Sugar, let it be deoxyribose sugar or ribose sugar. Sugar plus nitrogen base. Okay, sugar plus nitrogen base, that is known as nucleoside. Okay, means in nucleoside what is there? Phosphatic group is not there. Suppose you are including this group also, phosphatic group also, so this will be nucleotide. What is this one? Nucleotide. Okay, no problem at all. Nucleotide. Here also this will be, if you are including this one, so this will be nucleotide. Nucleotide. So what we can say? DNA is polynucleotide, RNA is also polynucleotide. Poly means many. Okay, so nucleotide means here deoxyribose sugar or ribose sugar plus nitrogenous base plus phosphatic group. Okay, now what are the name of nitrogenous base? There are two category of nitrogenous base, purines and pyrimidines. but I have not segregated. Directly I wrote the nitrogenous base name. Okay, and these are the RNA nitrogenous base. So just try to understand here. In DNA nitrogenous base, adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine. Okay, adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine. These are the nitrogenous base which is found in DNA. Okay, RNA nitrogenous base is adenine, uracil, guanine, cytosine. So only one difference is there. In RNA, instead of thymine, uracil is found. Okay, or you can say in DNA, instead of uracil, thymine is found. Okay, now I highlighted also. In DNA, thymine is there. In place of thymine, in RNA, uracil is there. Okay, one thing. Second one, when they are bonding, so the nitrogenous base bonded at one number carbon atom of pentose sugar. Pentose means 5 carbon atom. Okay, are you getting my point or not? Okay, at one carbon atom they bonded. Now see the structure of glucose. Okay, structure of glucose. Okay, what is the formula of glucose? C6H6O6. This is molecular formula. Okay, just see. This can be written like that. CH double bond O, CHOH, and add 3 carbon atom OH and H. Now here also CHOH, here also CH and OH. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here what is there? CH2OH. What is this one? This is D positive glucose. D positive glucose. Okay, what is the meaning of D? Now last year I taught you D is the means does not refer to the dextrorotatory. This plus sign indicate dextrorotatory. D means glyceraldehyde is there, and composition means structure of glyceraldehyde should be compared with this compound glucose. If OH is present in right hand side, so that is D. If OH is present with the left hand side at 5th number carbon atom, this is 1, 2, 3, this is 4, this is 5 and 6. This is there. Last year I taught this one. Okay. Where I taught this one? In organic chemistry I taught. Don't worry, when I will teach again, will teach this one also. Don't worry. Okay. So this is glucose structure. Which functional group is here? This is aldehydic functional group. CHO is there. Now do one thing. Just see, aldehydic group very easily accept one hydrogen. So from here, from 5th carbon, you shift one hydrogen here and shift this bond here. So now what you will get? You will get like that structure, HCOH. Okay, correct? Now here no change, here H and here OH, here also OH and H, here C, H, OH, and here what is there? Just see. C 1, 2, 3, 4th, 5th, H, and here oxygen is as such, only hydrogen has gone, and 6th number carbon atom, this is CH2OH. So now just see this oxygen. Now this is the cyclic structure of glucose. What is this one? Cyclic structure of glucose. Okay, here this will be like that. Now try to understand. Now same thing can be written like that also. Now just see, what is the name of this one? Their name is alpha D positive glucose. Okay, now this OH can be written like that also. Means you can write C OH H here C, here H, here OH, here what is there C, OH and H, here what is there C, H and OH, here what is there C, here H, here what is there this and this, and here what is there CH2OH. So what is the name of this one? This is beta D positive glucose. Beta D positive glucose. Okay. So what is alpha D positive? If at this is one number carbon atom, this is also one number carbon atom. So what is the difference between alpha D positive glucose and beta D positive glucose? In alpha D positive glucose, at carbon number 1, OH is in right hand side. In beta D positive glucose, at carbon number 1, this is one number carbon atom, OH is in left hand side. Okay. So alpha and beta D glucose, they are known as anomers. What are this one? Anomers. Just like isomers. What are anomers? Anomers are the isomers which differ in terms of configuration, at carbon number first. Okay. So what are the anomers? Anomers are the isomers which differ in terms of configuration at carbon number 1. Just see, alpha D glucose, beta D glucose. What is this one? At one carbon atom, OH is in right hand side. At carbon number 1, OH is in left hand side. So what are the examples of anomers? Examples of anomers is alpha D positive glucose and beta D positive glucose. These are anomers. So isomers which differ in terms of configuration at carbon number 1, they are known as anomers. Okay. Okay, no problem at all. So this is also sorted out. There is one more thing. Just see, in disaccharide, just see, one formula I am writing, C12H22O11. Suppose this is sucrose. So when sucrose is subjected for hydrolysis, just see, C12H22O11. If it is subjected for hydrolysis, it is forming C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6. Okay, one is glucose, other is fructose. Means what we can say, this sucrose is made up of two monosaccharide unit. Glucose and fructose, they are monosaccharide. This is disaccharides. So what we can say, disaccharide is made up of monosaccharides. So how two monosaccharide units are held together? So two monosaccharides units held together by glycosidic linkage. So what is glycosidic linkage? Just somewhere you write, here write glycosidic linkage. What is glycosidic linkage? Linkage between two monosaccharides, linkage between two monosaccharides through divalent oxygen. This is divalent oxygen. Like just see, in sucrose, this glucose and fructose, they will be held together by glycosidic linkage. Correct? Have you got this one? So this is glycosidic linkage. So this is one type of bond between It is one type of bond through oxygen between two monosaccharides unit. This is glycosidic linkage. This is also completed. Now amino acids, protein. Okay, see the amino acids. This is general formula of amino acid. Just see. R, CH, one end NH2 group is there, other end COOH group is there. So just see, protein is made up of amino acids. Protein is made up of amino acid. You might have heard about the polypeptide, peptide linkage, polypeptide chain. So amino in protein, what is there? Amino acids are the basic building blocks of protein. All proteins are made up of amino acids only, and more than one amino acids they link together through peptide linkage. So just like a glycosidic linkage is there, in glycosidic linkage what is there? Two or more monosaccharides units are held together. Okay. Similarly, in protein peptide linkage is there, and through peptide linkage many amino acids join together and they form polypeptide chain, and when many polypeptide chain come together they form protein. So what are the basic building block of proteins? The basic building blocks of protein is amino acids. And what are the basic building blocks of carbohydrate, especially polysaccharides? Monosaccharides. Okay, they are the basic building blocks and they link together by the glycosidic linkage. So peptide linkage is one of the example through which so many peptide linkage is one type of linkage through which so many amino acids join together and form protein. Okay, so in amino acid this is the general formula. One end COOH group is there, other end NH2 group is there having lone pair of electron. So the end where COOH group is there, that is known as C terminal, and the end towards N terminal is there, that is known as NH2 group. Okay, what is there? NH2 group, that is N terminal. Okay, so C terminal and N terminal, and here R is there. This is the general formula of amino acid. Now try to understand. There is one exception. There is one amino acid, glycine, where R group is not there. What is not there? R group is not there. Here in place of R, what is there? H is there. Okay, so remember this also, glycine. Tuar, what is the botanical name of tuar dal? Glycine max, and this amino acid is only found glycine max. That is the name of botanical name of tuar dal. Okay, so because glycine amino acid is found. Okay, now just see here what I wanted to tell you. COOH is acidic group and NH2 group is basic group. If you shift this one H, okay, here, okay, then what you will get? You will get this form, NH3 positive, and here what is there? CH, and here R, here C, double bond O, this is 2, 4, 6, and a negative sign. Okay, now just see, this is deuter ion. Deuter, ZWITTER, deuter ion. Deuter ion means dipolar ion. Dipolar ion. Two poles are there, positive poles and negative poles. So just see, in this case, this was acidic group. What was this one? Acidic group. Okay, acidic group. And this group was basic group, because basic group. Proton donor, that is acidic group. Proton acceptor, that is basic group. Now what about this one in dipolar ion? Now this deuter ion or dipolar ion is amphoteric. What is the meaning of amphoteric? What is the meaning of amphoteric? The meaning of amphoteric is which can simultaneously react with acids and bases. Which can simultaneously react with acids and bases. They are known as amphoteric, because here you write, because it simultaneously react with react with acids and bases. How? Just see. Now in deuter ion or dipolar ion, this group will be the proton acceptor. Just see. So proton acceptor, that is basic group, and this group is proton donor. Okay, proton donor. Okay, so when it is proton donor, so this is acidic group. Now just a minute, proton donor, so this is acidic group. Now just see, acidic group, don't get confused. Now here what is there? This is giving proton to this one, internal arrangement is there, so this is acidic group and this is basic group. But in deuter ion, now reverse will happen. Now if you will treat this compound deuter ion with acid and with base, then different group will react differently, means entirely different from this one. Just see, I will prove this one. Just see why it is known as proton acceptor or basic group, because it requires ulta, reverse. Earlier it was the proton donor, so this was the acidic group and this was the basic group because it was accepting the proton. Now when you make them to react with acids and base, then their behavior will change. Now this will accept proton, so this is basic group now, and this will donate proton. Okay, so the group which is donating proton, that will be responsible with the reaction with base, and which is proton acceptor, that will react with the acids, so this group is responsible for the reaction with acids. Just see, so that is why it is basic group. Are you getting my point or not? This is responsible for reacting with acids, that is why it is basic group. This group is responsible for reacting with bases, that is why it is acidic group. Okay, base bond, just see, this is acidic group, means it will donate proton to base. This group gain proton from acids, correct or not? So just see the reaction, you will come to know. So now I am explaining the amphoteric behavior of deuter ion. Just take deuter ion, see, NH3 positive, and here what is there? CH2C double bond O 2 4 6 negative sign. Okay, now suppose acidic, this is acidic group, so just see their reaction with base, OH negative, base is there, OH negative. So now this group will donate one proton to OH group, then what would be there? Here NH2, and here what is there? CH2. This group will remain unchanged, 2 4 6 negative, correct or not? Plus H2O. So now this indicates the reaction with base. Next one is reaction with acids, reaction with acid. Just see here, reaction with acids, same, just you write NH3 here, NH3 positive sign, here what is there? CH2, here C double bond O, here O 2 4 6 negative sign, and here what is there? H positive. Now reaction with acids, H positive, acid is containing. So now what would be this one? NH3 here positive sign, here what is there? CH2, here C double bond O, and here OH. So this time which group has responded? This group has responded. So now this is responding towards the H positive. So now this is basic group now, because it is reacting with the acid. Now this group is responding towards the base, hence this group is acidic group. This group is acidic group because it is furnishing one proton to this one. This is gaining one proton. So COO group is gaining proton. That is why it is a basic group, and it is donating proton. That is why it is a acidic group. Correct or not? Yes. So now it is proved that they are amphoteric in nature. They are amphoteric in nature. Amino acid is always amphoteric. Why they are amphoteric? They are amphoteric because of the formation of dipolar ion, that is deuterion. Deuterion is internal arrangement, and they do the internal arrangement in aqueous solution. Always they do the internal arrangement in aqueous solution. Remember, this arrangement is there in aqueous solution. In this way, this biomolecules is also completed. Now solid state is left. Okay, so just see, one more thing is there, types of protein. Basically there are two types of protein. Globular protein, examples insulin and albumins. Fibrous protein, what are the example? Keratin. Keratin, do you know where it is found? Keratin is basically found in wool, okay, nail. These are the keratins. And myosin is protein which is found in the muscles. In this way, amino acid is completed. Now solid state. So just see, there are three physical states of matter: solid, liquid and gas. Okay, so liquid and gas last year only you have studied. Okay, and liquid and gas, they are known as fluid, F-L-U-I-D, fluid, because they have got the flowing property, Solid has not got flowing property, one thing. Okay, but only crystalline solid, amorphous solid, that has got. Okay, so in detail we'll discuss all those things. Right now just a overview, okay, just glimpses. So how many types of solid is there? Two types of solid, amorphous solid and crystalline solid. Amorphous solid, that is glass. What are the example of amorphous solid? Glass. And glass is also known as supercooled liquid. Supercooled liquid. Why it is known as supercooled liquid? Why it is known as supercooled liquid? Amorphous solid is not true solid. Okay, just see. If you might have seen the old doors where glasses are there, or window glass, just see, over the period of time, at bottom side they become thicker. Means some flowing property still they have got. They are not true solid. Okay, they are supercooled liquid. So just explain this one. What is the meaning of supercooled liquid? Okay, now crystalline solid, actually they are the true solid. How many types of solids, crystalline solids are there? Covalent solid, molecular solid, metallic solid, ionic solid. Covalent solid, the best example is diamond, graphite. They are covalent solid. Molecular solid, what are the molecular solid? Molecular solid means molecule should be the unit. Here in covalent solid, what is there? Atom is the unit. Atom is the binding, atom is the constituent. In covalent solid, atom is the constituents, or atoms are the constituents. In molecular solid, molecules are the constituents. Molecules are the constituents. Okay, like ice, solid H2O. Water molecules is there, so H2O is the molecules. Solid carbon dioxide is the constituents. In iodine, I2, solid I2. Here you can write solid I2. Here I2 is itself a constituents. Okay, so these are the molecular solid. Next one is the metallic solid. In metallic solid, what are the constituents? Metallic solid. Metal means, just see, valence shell, electron, kernel. Two things are there. Just see, outermost shell's electrons are known as valence shell, and if you subtract the outermost shell's electron, rest structure is known as kernel. Last year only I told you. Okay, kernel. Okay, so what is the meaning of kernel? Nucleus plus inner cells. Nucleus plus inner cells minus outermost cell, that is kernel. So in metallic solid, basically valence shell, electron and kernel is the constituents. and there is a attractive force between valence shell electron and rest part means kernel, that is only known as metallic bond. Last year we have already discussed this one, metallic solid. Ionic solid, ions are the constituents, ions are the constituents, and ions are held together by strong electrostatic force of attraction. Okay, now what is the similarity and differences between metallic solid and ionic solid? What is the similarity and differences? Just see, first we will discuss about the similarity. Okay, number one thing is metallic solid as well as ionic solid both conduct electricity. This is the similarity. But ionic solid conduct electricity in aqueous or molten state, but metallic solid they conduct electricity in solid state also. This is the only reason, that is why copper wire conduct electricity in solid state only. Okay, am I correct or not? So first similarity and difference both I have taught. Okay, what is there? Both conduct electricity, but ionic solid they conduct electricity in molten state or aqueous solution, but metallic solid they conduct electricity in solid state only. There is no need to melt or fuse it. Okay, correct. So this is the first similarity and difference. What is the second similarity and difference? Just see, both actually the metallic bond is also one type of electrostatic force of attraction only. See, positively charged kernel and valence shell electron. Okay, positive negative, valence shell electron negative, and kernel, that is the positive charge. Okay, and here different types of ions, positive and negative. So both are having electrostatic force of attraction, but the electrostatic force of attraction which is present in the ions or ionic solid, that is very strong as compared to electrostatic force which is present in metals. So this is the similarity and differences. Okay, now crystalline solid they are found in crystal lattice. They are found in the form of crystal lattice, and crystal lattice is made up of unit cell. So basically three types of unit cells are there: simple cubic unit cell, body centered unit cell, and face centered unit cell. Okay, we'll teach this one in detail, don't worry. Crystalline solid they are form crystal lattice, and crystal lattice is made up of unit cell, and unit cells are three types: cubic unit cell, body centered, and face centered. In cubic unit cell, number of atom per unit cell, number of atom per unit cell is 1. Here number of atom per unit cell is 2. Most important is face centered. In face centered, number of atom per unit cell is 4. Number of atom. There is a calculation method. When I will teach that unit, that time will tell you. Okay, right now just overview, at a glance you just see. Another term is packing fraction or packing efficiency. How closely these crystal lattice are packed together. Just see, some solids are loosely packed, some solids are very strong, like just see diamond, graphite, diamond and graphite. Diamond cannot be broken easily, but graphite can be. Okay, so similarly some crystalline solids are closely packed and some crystalline solids are very loosely packed. So actually the packing depends upon what kind of unit cells they are having. So just see here, packing efficiency, if FCC cells are there in any crystalline structure, so their packing efficiency will be highest, 74%. In BCC, body centered cubic, 68%. Simple cubic, 52.4. Full derivation is there. So where highest packing efficiency is there, means which is closely packed, FCC arrangement, face centered cubic. BCC means body centered cubic, and this is simple cubic. So just remember this one, FCC will have the highest packing efficiency. Okay, there are so many things, we'll teach all those things, but right now just manage with this such kind of portion. Okay, thank you.